Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking. If that means a lot to you guys, keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. And today I really want to make a video diving into, can this season get any worse? I mean, after this last fiasco episode, it really isn't even the episode. The episode was pretty good aside from some minor kinks and, High calling an alliance misogynistic. And, obviously the big tribal is what makes it bad, with Drea and Marianne doing what Drea and Marianne do. I feel like this season now has hit an all-time low. It's one of the worst episodes that I've ever seen in the history of Survivor. And I'm wondering, can it get any worse? Can it possibly do worse? What could happen in this season, and what I think may actually happen IRL to make this season end up even worse than it already is right now in my rankings. So I just want to touch on a few factors that I think can make this season better, or more likely much worse. But before we start, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's easy, it's free, and it really helps the channel out. So I actually want to kind of do this in some sort of chronological order. So let's just start right now. Coming into this gigantic vote. Now, I say this because last season, again, I'm trying to compare this season to last season, since this season just wants to be last season so bad, with production trying to create this exact same season back to back and just get the heck out of there after that. It really does seem like they were just so scared that they weren't going to film 2 seasons back to back, and that they were just so happy to be out there, for COVID, that they just got out there and just completely panicked and just spit out 2 terrible seasons. But that's just a side thought. So I think overall, the big thing for me in this first big final 8 round is we need a gigantic blindside. I'm talking like a High blindside, a Drea blindside, and an Omar blindside. We need like a power player to go out. I guess like a Jonathan blindside would work, although obviously me personally, I don't want that. But putting my emotions aside, any of those 4 players is fine, but we need a gigantic, big, good player to go out in this round, to kind of, I guess, fill in for this lackluster episode where 2 not so great players go home, in Rocksroy and Tori. I want to see 2 big blindsides coming up in the final 8 and 6 rounds. Notice how I'm skipping 7, and that's because of my next thing. But yeah, I feel like in specifically the 8, but also in this 6th round as well, we need some of these big power players to go out, because I doubt that they're all going to make finale night. And if they do all make finale night together, blindsides aren't as fun on finale night. I feel like when there's 5 people left and it's a 4-1 blindside, like on Ricard, it's not very fun. Whereas if Ricard went out around like 7 or 6, that's a really cool blindside. So I definitely want these to get out the way quicker, so that we can get our character moments during the finale, rather than like our kind of meh blindsides. Then next round at 7, I think that they have a choice. I mean, obviously they didn't know the reaction to the do or die twist, but I think they have a choice to not do the do or die twist or do it. I think the issue is last season no one got eliminated from it, so why wouldn't they try it again? From their perspective, no one could possibly be offended by it if none of their favorite players got screwed by it, which, to them, I guess that's their way of thinking. But obviously us super fans still see the flaw in it. Whether it sent somebody home or not, it almost ruined the season and took out your biggest character at that point, maybe other than Xander, in Deshawn. I mean, it's a bad twist. It really doesn't even feel like Survivor. It feels like The Price is Right or something. It's weird. It's like, why are you trying to be a different show? And if someone goes out to the do or die twist, it almost feels like they went out, on a different show, like on a game show, rather than on Survivor playing the game. It's very weird, and they're definitely going to have a big choice as to whether or not to bring it back. And then on top of that, hopefully the person, if they do bring it back, that goes out to it is like a person like, for an example, a Lindsay, or even like a Romeo, who isn't really like a big integral character, or also a big player in the game. Because the big players in the game, we want them to get blindsided, in epic ways. We don't want those players going out to the do or die. We also don't want our winner possibilities. We also don't want our fan favorites going out to those twists. We want like our Lindsays or Romeos basically are the only 2 right now that can go out to that twist, and it's still acceptable, which is a scary thought for sure. Once we get to finale night, I might as well go through a few people who I feel like need to go out. and cannot get to final tribal because their edit just isn't shaped for it. I think Mike cannot be at final tribal. I feel like his edit's not really made for it. He's not really being edited as a winner. He's not really being edited as a runner-up who has like some flaws in their game, and he's not a GOAT. So I feel like he can't get to final tribal. I think on top of that, people like Drea and High, obviously we talked about before, need to go in blindsides. Also Omar, I think Omar also needs to go probably in fire, honestly, if not like in a final 5, like kind of Ricard type blindside where like the perfect player goes out. Because I think Omar also isn't winner material at this point. He hasn't really gotten much personal content. And I also think that he's not a runner-up type of edit person. As far as some people who I feel like if they won the game, I would be at least content with. Maybe not my favorites, but definitely not like shocked like Erica last season where I was like, what the hell is that? So those people would be namely probably first and foremost, I think if Omar won, that would be, like a Tommy win where it's like, yep, makes sense. I think if High won, that would be okay. Like that makes sense. Even if Drea won, they, would be trying to do like the aggressive winner who also gets like the emotional moments and blah, blah, blah. That would make kind of a lot of sense from the edit. Even if someone like Mike won, it wouldn't be like, what in the hell? It would shock me because of his demographic, because white males don't have a chance in Survivor anymore. So it would be shocking. But I wouldn't necessarily be jumping out of my chair like, what in the hell if Mike won. Those are some people who I'm pretty content if they were to win the season. Some people who I would not be content with. Lindsay, she's gotten little to no personal content. It feels like every time she talks, it just goes in one ear and out the other for me, and I feel like they're doing that on purpose. Romeo, he's been shown to be a straight up bad player and a GOAT, so if he won, that would be pretty shocking. Jonathan, he's been shown negatively, and his demographic never wins. He's the big muscular guy. He never wins the game ever. I think his best case scenario is he gets to the end and gets like no jury votes because the jury just wants to spite him for not being woke enough. And I'm trying to think who else would be. And Marianne's also still in the game. Yeah, I mean, Marianne winning would be ridiculous and disappointing because she's playing a terrible game. So those would all be pretty disgusting wins, in my opinion. I would say overall, the most disgusting winner, I guess, would be Romeo. Probably that'd be like, what in the hell? Second is Marianne. I'd say third, Lindsay. Fourth, Jonathan. And then as far as the most content winner, it's probably Omar is the most content. Then High, then Drea, then Mike, in that order. So we'll see. But what do you think? Who for you would you be the most outraged by winning the game, and who would you be the most content with winning the game? Let me know down in the comments. Again, none of this happens without you guys. I'm just a weird guy spinning a weird microphone. So as always, thank you for watching. And if that's what I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.